Hey, welcome to this live stream. I'm glad you're checking it out. Let's talk a little bit about these campus protests that are that the police appear to be cracking down on. I'm a little bit confused on that. I've got a couple of news stories here and also some videos to play for you. By the way, if you like this live stream, please leave me a thumbs up and share it with someone who might enjoy it as well. Let's jump in here and see. You probably can't hear me here. Let me get my stuff set up here properly. That's only on Rumble. No one watches Rumble anyways, right? Kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, let's see what we got here. So I'm the part that I'm confused about is this. I'm perplexed on why Antifa and Black Lives Matter can destroy cities all around the nation and have what appears to be zero repercussions at all, but college campus students are protesting something, another thing, and they're being harassed and arrested. I'm a little bit perplexed on that. It's a mystery to me. Check out this. Let's watch this video right here. You get the idea. It's interesting to me. I'm watching this, and I've got another news article pulled up here. Let's dive in here. This is from Associated Press, AP News. The title is "A Look at the Protests About the War in Gaza That Have Emerged on U.S. College Campuses." I guess I should also preface this live stream by saying, I've watched a ton of documentaries on Israel and Gaza and followed Abby Martin and really did a deep dive because clearly there are implications for everyone on the planet for what's happening over there. And, also we want to know the truth. We don't want to live by lies any longer, and we've been living by a lot of lies in our country and our world potentially. And so if you follow me for any length of time, I'm about the truth. I don't really care who it offends, because at this point in time, we need to know what's up so we can do the right thing. So I've been deep diving quite a bit, and I'm finding some sketchy stuff about Israel and some of the things they're up to and some of the things they do to the Palestinian people in Gaza and also in the West Bank and all over Israel. It's sketchy. It's sketchy. Let's just leave it at that. Let's see. Student protests over the Israel-Hamas war have popped up on increasingly number of college campuses. The students are calling for universities to separate themselves from any companies that are advancing Israel's military efforts in Gaza. And it seems like a noble cause, right? Get behind the causes that you feel strongly about. This is my perplexion about this. I'm not sure why it's okay to get behind certain causes and not behind other causes. It's a mystery to me. There are many things I don't understand about this world, and that is one of them. Protests on many campuses have been orchestrated by coalitions of student groups. The groups largely act independently, though students say they're inspired by peers at other universities. I have heard that. I actually saw a rather grim video the other day of a gal, a college student, and they asked her, "What are you protesting for?" And she was like, "Well, the thing, they're treating this and that." And then she looks to her friend and goes, "What are we protesting for?" That's a problem. That's a problem. I never thought that I would be aligned with liberal college students on any topic, quite frankly, especially after the COVID times. Where most liberals were saying, "Hey, go get the thing," and I'm like, "I'm not getting that thing." Thank you very much. I don't want it. I wasn't aligned with liberals then, and I'm aligned with liberals now. It's a weird thing. I was watching the Young Turks the other day, and it was a video from about 5 months ago, and they were talking about what's happening in Gaza and the fact that Israelis are writing the names of journalists to question them and speak out about them on the bombs they're dropping on Gaza. It's just mind-boggling the shit that's going on over there. And I was like, holy crap, I'm aligned. I'm aligned with the Young Turks. It's wild. It's wild. Columbia University, pro-Palestine Palestinian students protesters set up a tent encampment at the Ivy League University in New York last week. Police first tried to clear the encampment on April 18th. So what was that, about a month? No, just a couple weeks ago. And they arrested 100 protesters. Like, I'm not really sure why people can't peacefully protest about things that they're inspired to protest about. It's sketchy. It's sketchy at best. Let's see. University officials said Wednesday they were extending a deadline for protesters to clear out. They said the demonstrators had committed to removing a significant number of tents and agreed only students would remain at the encampment. They also agreed to ban discriminatory language or harassing messages. Now, I get that. You know, if you're, I don't know the line about it. I mean, if you're being disparaging to other people, that's a problem. But I just keep thinking back to Occupy Wall Street. Again, the Antifa mess that went down in America. I'm not sure how using disparaging languages and potentially offending people is any worse than burning down buildings and destroying public property and destroying small businesses. I'm having a real hard time wrapping my mind around that. University officials said Wednesday they were extended. So we read that. Ben Chang, a spokesperson for Columbia, said Thursday that discussions with student protesters were continuing. He said university leaders hope the talks lead demonstrators to remove the encampments, but otherwise Columbia will have to consider other options. I just am perplexed about it. Why are we have our demands, they have theirs, he said. Columbia officials said that negotiations were showing progress as the school's self-imposed early Friday deadline to reach an agreement on dismantling the encampment came and went. Nevertheless, 2 police buses were parked nearby. Holy shit, 2 police buses. And there were a noticeable presence of private security and police at entrances to campuses. As we saw in that video, they're not playing. They are not playing. So here's one about the University of Southern California has canceled its main stage graduation ceremony as its campus is roiled by protests. I did not know this. I don't watch the news, so I don't pick up on I don't pick up on this. I get it all from social media. The university already canceled the commencement speech. That sucks. They have to cancel their graduation ceremony. But then again, lots was canceled during COVID, and I didn't hear a lot of griping about it. The university already canceled the commencement speech by the school's pro-Palestinian valedictorian, citing safety concerns. The Los Angeles Police Department said more than 90 people were arrested Wednesday night for alleged trespassing during a protest at the university. One person was arrested for alleged assault with a deadly weapon. That's a problem. There are no injuries reported. The university said Wednesday it had closed campus and police would arrest people who did not leave. The Ohio State University. Police clashed with protesters at Ohio State University just hours after the gathering, or they gathered Thursday evening. Those who refused to leave after warnings were arrested and charged with criminal trespass. Not a good look. Not really a good look, considering what we've seen in the last number of years. The other thing we have to remember, and I want to throw this out there, that the media can manipulate us. And I think about this quite often, especially after what we saw during COVID times. And I do, I am skeptical of them, whatever I read, including this article. If you're familiar with Albert Pike's letter to Mazzini, that is the document apparently written in 1971 talking about the 3 WWWs, or the 3 WWs, I should say. And it's concerning. It's something to be aware of. And then I just think to myself, and I also saw the video of Netanyahu earlier on Project Uprising on Instagram, and he's calling for the U.S. to crack down on these protests. And I'm like, dude, let them speak if they feel strongly about it. Again, doubling back. Why do Antifa get to do it? Why do Black Lives Matter get to do it? Why does Occupy Wall Street get to do it? Occupy Wall Street, they were there. Were they there for weeks or months? It was a long time. But apparently that doesn't register. But he's upset about it. Then I just keep thinking back, well, if you do believe in the agenda of the NWO folks, And if you do read Albert Pike's letter to Mazzini, they say, hey, we want to cause this problem where everyone will war with one another to the point of exhaustion, and then we'll come in and establish our one world GOV. It's sketchy. It's sketchy, quite frankly. And, if their whole goal is to cause, conflict and strife and all those other things, they're doing a good job. And I just remind people and remind myself as well, don't get too involved in this. Stay detached to a healthy level, but also speak your mind, because, as any human being on the planet Earth right now, we have an opportunity, we have a right, if we want to exercise it, to speak about what's happening in the world. It's our world too, and it's not just the world of these global leaders and, one percenters. Let's see. The University of Texas at Austin. University of Texas campus was much calmer on Thursday, a day after a demonstration saw police and state troopers in riot gear and on horseback make dozens of arrests and force hundreds of students off the school's main lawn. On Thursday, university officials pulled back the campus barricades. Demonstration allowed another demonstration involving students and some faculty on the main square because of the noise. The university said the protesters must remove tents and disperse by 7 p.m. Protesters stayed overnight at the encampment, local news stations reported Friday morning. In a statement after the Thursday evening deadline, the University of Washington said the encampment violated university policies and that the administration and police were figuring out how to address the situation. Okay, well, I guess, again, what is there a double standard? Is there not a double standard? That's the $100,000 question. Harvard. Dang, I think I did lose my feed. Son of a gun.